Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I had one of my Patreon supporters ask me if I could do a video on how to deal with heartache after a breakup or a girl cheats on you or something like that. Pretty much you feel like your heart's been ripped out of your freaking chest and stomped on the ground. You know, how to deal with that. Now guys, ordinarily this is not the type of thing I would cover. You know, this isn't a relationship channel by any means. However, this is the thing a lot of guys go through, and so I want to help you guys not have to deal with a lot of the shit that I went through, make the mistakes I did when I was younger, because yes, it even happened to me when I was younger, and so it impacts a lot of guys. So this is worth 10 minutes of my time to help some of you guys out, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a bunch of things you absolutely should not do, that do not in a situation like that, which is only going to make the situation worse. And then I'm going to tell you along the way the things you should do, how to handle things, and that way then, whatever shit you're dealing with, how to get over it and be better and come out on the other side, okay? So, first things first, guys, I don't care how badass you are, all right? How much of a hard ass you are. At some point, guys, absolutely most guys in this world, at some point, probably when they were younger, their teenage years, got their heart broken at least one time. Okay, that first girlfriend that you fell in love with and thought everything was magical and just like the fucking movies, and out of nowhere, boom, she breaks up with you, or you find out she cheated on you or something like that, and it honestly feels like somebody took a baseball bat and hit you in the stomach. And for those of you guys who have been through that, you know what I'm talking about. On the other hand, there are guys that have been through this multiple times throughout their lives and keep making the same mistakes, okay? We can talk about the mistakes you made that led up to the breakup and all that crap another day. I'm just going to focus in today on how to deal with the pain and getting over that bullshit so it never happens again, okay? So, first and foremost, guys, you get dumped, all right? Out of nowhere, she breaks your heart, dumps you, you're toast. And by the way, oftentimes it doesn't happen because you did something wrong to her, like you cheated on her, or you're out drinking all night and things like that, not taking her out enough times. Usually those are the bad boy traits that the girls stay with. It's usually because you were probably being too nice, putting her on a pedestal, kissing her ass, putting up with her bullshit, basically acting weak like a beta male, and you turned her off, and then she dumped you to go out with some other guy that doesn't do any of that. So, for whatever reason, she breaks up with you, breaks your heart, you feel like shit. Here's what you don't do. All right, first and foremost, guys, most of the time, a lot of guys will then just hide away in their house, their apartment, or in their room, and pretty much become hermits and never want to come out. Okay, unless they absolutely have to, obviously, for work and all that. You don't want to do that. That's the worst thing you can do. Now, I get that you want to do that in the beginning, like I'm talking like, she broke up with you on a Wednesday and you take a day off of work, you're destroyed, or you don't go to school a down, or whatever you do, you know, you're hiding away for a few days. That's one thing, okay? You don't want to be around anybody, obviously, and you're feeling like shit. Okay, fine. A few days at best. I'm not saying you take off work or take off school, but if it happens on a weekend, you got the weekend to hang back in your place and fucking scream into the pillow or cry. I mean, I'm being honest here, guys, okay? Don't act like hard asses. I guarantee you some of you guys watching this have cried, all right? But fine. Get it out of your system, whatever it happens to be, but you're in your place for a few days. But afterwards, you got to get out, okay? So many guys hide in their place, and they pretty much become hermits and never go out anymore, okay? You can't do that. You got to get your shit together and get out of the fucking house, okay? Don't stay in the place too long. It's not good for you. It's going to make things worse. Okay, second one, guys, in a situation like this, immediately a lot of guys start eating like shit. If they ate pretty good beforehand, or they just ate okay, all of a sudden they're ordering pizza every day and fucking loading up on the beers and all that stuff. Initially, if you want to have a pizza or some fucking McDonald's or Burger King, whatever, because you want some comfort food, fine. But don't make a habit of it. A lot of guys do this, and the next thing you know, they're going to start putting on weight. And that's not going to make them feel any better, because you're not going to feel better becoming overweight, and you're going to look like shit, and that's going to turn people off, turn women off, because obviously once you get out of your hole, you're going to be back to dating and hooking up. That's not going to help you. So if you got to have that meal, got to get that pizza to make you feel better, or get that six-pack initially that day or those couple of days, fine. Beyond that, no. Get back to eating well, eating healthy. You do not need, because that stuff isn't going to make you actually feel better. It's going to make you feel like shit. Have you guys noticed that for those of you guys that eat pretty well all the time, have you ever noticed when you go on vacation and your options are limited in terms of the food you can have? If all of a sudden you, after a couple days of eating not the best food, you start feeling like fucking shit. It doesn't make you feel good at all. However, once you start going back to eating clean, good, healthy food, you feel better. So don't do that. Don't smother yourself in fucking McDonald's and Burger King and pizza or whatever. Initially, that day or the next couple days, whatever, your little comfort food, fine. But beyond that, no. Do not do that to yourself. It's the worst thing you can do. All right, another thing, guys. A lot of guys, they become the hermits in their apartment or houses, and they stop hanging out with their friends. Wrong. Again, the first couple days, you want to be by yourself, fine. But afterwards, go back to hanging out with your friends, okay? Even though you don't want to get out of the house, even though you don't want to see anybody, even though you don't want to talk about that shit, get out of the house, hang out with your buddies. These are your brothers. They're going to help you out. And guarantee you, they've been through it. They may not be experts when it comes to women, but they've been through it. They got through it. They can help you out. And you be out with your friends, having a good time, having some laughs. Take your mind off the chick, okay? You need that. You need that distraction. And you don't want to, and these are your brothers, your good friends. They're going to help you through it, okay? And it's going to make things better. You don't want to push them away off of some chick. And remember all along when you're doing this and you're feeling like shit, remember, you're going to let her who cheated on you or broke up with you out of nowhere and you were doing things right, at least being a good guy, you're going to let her make you become a hermit, eat like shit, drink a lot, push your buddies away over her? Fuck no. You don't do that. Again, first few days, you're feeling like crap, that's one thing, but doing this continuously, big mistake. I did all this type of bullshit when I was younger. Twice, I went through this, when I was 16 and when I was 18. And let me tell you guys, I know what it's like. So, literally, at that time period, remembering now, at 42 years old, and the last time this shit happened was I was 18, I can still remember to this day. I would have rather had Mike Tyson in his prime punch me in the stomach than to go through the shit I had to go through emotionally and all that crap. It sucked. So I'm trying to help you guys out. All right, going on. Next thing, guys, is you definitely, you don't want to sit around staring at her pictures or stalking her on social media and dating apps and all that, what she's doing, what she's up to. You're going to make yourself crazy, okay? Or staring at her pictures and crying and feeling all bad about that. No, because that's just going to keep her in your mind, okay? You need to, I'm not saying it like on social media like Facebook, if that's what you do, that you unfriend her. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. I mean, if she cheated on you, unfriend the bitch. But if she broke up with you and has been on civil terms, I wouldn't say unfriending her, because that's going to make her see that she really got to you. You don't want to give her that satisfaction. But at the very least, you can unfollow her and stop watching her. And don't pay attention to what she's doing, who she's going out with, where she's going, staring at her picture and carrying on like, oh, she was the one and blah, blah, blah. Number one, there is no fucking one. There's 4 billion women on this planet. And also, that's going to make things worse. Get rid of the fucking pictures. Don't follow them on social media. Don't pay attention to what they're doing. Wrong. Do not do that. You don't need that stuff. It's going to make you crazy, okay? Put it off. Don't do that. Another thing is, guys, a lot of guys, when they're getting their shit back together or they're going through this pain and the heartache and woe is me and they're dragging it out, they don't want to date other women. Not just because maybe their confidence has been shattered in the short term, but they just can't do it. Guys, you need to get back on that horse and go out there and fuck a lot of women. That's what you need to do when you start to get your confidence back. And I promise you, you're going to feel a lot better, okay? And, by the way, as a bonus, it's going to get back to her. She's going to see that, hey, she didn't crush you, that you're no longer going out, that you're no longer out having a social life, hanging out with your friends or dating other women. No, you're out doing that. You're out having a life. I was like, okay, I got that screaming and crying out and being a hermit for a couple days. Now I'm back, clean slate. I'm going to go out and hook up with a bunch of chicks or date a bunch of women, whatever it happens to be. Once you've gotten over all that, and obviously that initial anger towards women in general, go out there and hook up with a lot of women. You're going to feel a lot better, and it's going to get back to her. And all of a sudden she's going to say, wait a second, what happened? Or if you're dating hotter women than her, even better. And she may end up calling you and coming back to you because obviously you weren't so devastated over her after all. I'm not saying go back, get back with her after that, but you can have the satisfaction that after her ripping your heart out and stomping in a million pieces, now she's interested in what you're doing and she's after you. You know, I wouldn't go back to her, especially if she cheated, no fucking way, but at least then you can have that satisfaction. And believe me, when you have that heartache after being dumped or cheated on or whatever, believe me, that satisfaction is priceless. You can't put a value on that. All right. Another thing, guys, and I'm going over a list here just to make sure I don't forget everything, is make sure you don't make the same mistakes you did before. So if you were putting the girl on the pedestal and you're treating like the queen and kissing her ass and being too nice, too accommodating, you don't do that. Start learning about female nature. Start learning games. Learn from other guys that are successful with women that know what they're talking about, okay? And that way you don't have to go through this crap again. Because by and large, most guys don't. When you're young, you know, if you have a father that's there, you're not in a single parent household with your mom, you got a father or uncle or brothers, the odds are they're pretty clueless too. I mean, let's be honest here. Learn from guys that know what the fuck they're doing. Learn from guys that are older, they've been around the block, they've been through it. And even if they tell you things that you don't want to hear because you think, oh, you know, that's not my girl or anything like that, listen to them and learn from them. It will save you a lot of pain. And this is more along the lines, if you haven't gone through this already, but you're young and you don't want to and you're watching this, learn from other guys, masculine, strong guys that obviously know what they're talking about. That will help you. Okay, because again, this whole nice guy thing, you don't want to make the same mistakes you did before. Otherwise, the same thing will keep happening. And last thing, guys, and I'm being completely honest here. If it's so bad, if you're feeling, because maybe, let's just say you suffer from depression. Depression runs in your family because it runs in mine. I know what it's like. If you're feeling so bad that literally you think about ending it all, talk to a doctor and go to a shrink. Get professional help. It is not worth it. You don't want to go through all this shit and even worse, have these thoughts of ending it all over some chick. No fucking way, guys. Do whatever you can to get yourself back on track. And again, if it's that bad, get some professional help. It's not worth it. There's no shame in doing that. It'll help you out and you'll be able to move on and get a clean slate and do things better the second time around. So that, guys, is how you deal with it. Those are all the things that you shouldn't do. And I know it because I did them all. I'd love to tell you guys that I was born into this world hard and I knew how to handle these things. No, I learned by fucking up. I learned by making mistakes, going through all this bullshit, and looking back now in my life when I was younger and saying I shouldn't have done this, and this, but I should have done this, and this. So I'm telling you to help you guys out, okay? And if you're going through this right now, you'll get through it. Trust me, bro, or bros out there that are watching this. But you can't do all these things I said don't do. You got to do things I said you got to do. Get off your ass, get out of the house, hang out with your friends, start eating healthy. Oh, I left one out, guys. Don't stop exercising or doing physical activities that you like because you're all depressed and some chick. A lot of guys, they stop exercising and going to the gym. They stop riding their bike, going for jogs, hiking, all their sports, all the physical activities. Don't stop doing that. You need to get out of the house and get to the gym, even though it hurts, because by working out, you're going to feel better. Trust me, the endorphins are going to be going. You'll feel better. Trust me, after 1 hour, and all of a sudden you'll be looking at the situation and it won't seem as bad. Exercise, get out of the house. Even if you got to go for a walk down the street for half a mile, get some nature, breathe some fresh air, get some vitamin D. You'll feel better. I left that one out. That's very important. So those are a bunch of things, guys. Again, if you're going through this, you can get through it. So I don't want to get all Mr. Rogers here, but I'm trying to help you out. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you did to get over this shit, because we're all here to help each other out. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.